Welcome to Royalty Real's R.E.A.L podcast. Real conversations, real people, real life.
Hey, what's going on, guys? This is Matt Royalty. We're here today, and I'm back with another podcast episode. My guest today is Daylyt, who just so happens to be my brother-in-law. So quick introduction. I knew about you before I met Daisha, because I was on the battle rap scene as well. And so the first battle that I saw of yours was actually yours versus Interstate Fats.
Yeah.
And I was hella mad because I'm like, this is a big look for him. The first time he traveled outside of LV and going to LA. And I'm like, this dude just play with it. I didn't know who you were. I wasn't paying attention to anything. And plus, that was the champ of the league that I was on, AHAT. Yeah, I had met him. He was a cool dude. I'm like, so it's a good look for him. And then he come out there and I'm like, this nigga. Yeah. I was mad as hell. But at the same time, I'm like, it put you on my radar.
Yeah.
So I was like, that's dope. And then the year that Daisha and I met in 2015, it was crazy because my friend I was in a group with, his name was Phil. He passed away this year, actually. First guy to bring me on tour, I performed at the Sunset Club on in Hollywood with him, and I had watched your battle with Oops with him that same year. So when I met Daisha, I'm like, last name Campbell. I'm like, okay, no chance. And I saw a couple pictures on Facebook, and I'm like, okay, that's just her cousin. And then that's my brother. And I'm just like,
wow,
y'all two different ends of the spectrum.
Yeah. But like we actually a lot alike. It's just, when I'm in the ring, I'm just another person.
Right. So one of the first things I want to talk about is you and I are around the same age, and we both grew up with a lot of the same things. So I noticed in some of your battles you used anime references, specifically Dragon Ball.
Yeah.
So how did you first get into Dragon Ball?
Cartoon Network. But no, it actually was before Cartoon Network. I think like early 90s. Like I used to be up early. Like they should be up late. I used to wake up early. Like, I go to sleep early, like 7:30, 8, and I wake up early, like 4 or 5 in the morning. So like I used to flip through the channels. Back then we only had 1 through 13. So I used to flip through the channels, and then I just used to keep going. So you go in the 50s and shit.
Right.
And the shit used to come on channel 39. It was in Spanish.
Oh, the Spanish dub.
Yeah, it was a Spanish dub on channel 39. Spanish dub. I used to watch it every morning, like 5 a.m.
Yeah.
And that's how I first got into it. Goku was still little though. He was still like a little.
Oh, so you started watching Dragon Ball. So you didn't start with Dragon Ball.
Nah, he was little. Like he was a little kid, like flying on a little cloud and shit.
So was it? How did you ended up like? Was it like a big part of who you were growing up?
Hell no. It just came on the morning. It was kid cartoons. Like, this shit's dope. I used to watch it because nobody knew about it. I was like the only, so it was like a secret of mine. I got my show that I watch every morning.
Right.
A couple of years passed, and then boom, like the shit on Cartoon Network
blew up.
And I'm like, wait, this the same cartoon I used to watch, but the dude grown now. Like he like a big dude now. So I just watched all that shit and so forth, and I went all the way up with it. I stopped watching though. I stopped watching. I think the last moment where I was like super intrigued in it was probably when Majin Buu came.
Oh, okay.
That was it. That was like the last one for me. I guess like nostalgic moments are when you lock into like a memory. That's what you want.
Yeah.
So like the Frieza saga was it for me.
Oh yeah.
Like I couldn't, like, nothing was better than that.
Right.
I
mean, to this day, it's not many moments that it will ever surpass that. Especially because, bro, we had to come back week after week to see what was happening with this.
The prolong with that, like the lead up, the build up, the like.
Bro, it was episodes where niggas threw one punch
and it like I'm just
next time
like,
Dragon Ball Z.
They cliffhangered us to the mat, like the anticipation for tomorrow. Oh my God, it was level high. But like even like it was so many moments like when Krillin got killed, like it was like Krillin gone. He gone and like Frieza like he literally Frieza was demonic. Like he was like a ultimate evil villain, bro.
Right. Especially after we saw Vegeta and it was like, okay, it can't get no worse than Vegeta. And then Frieza like this nigga Vegeta's crying and scared of him.
Bro, like he was evil, bro. Like yeah, it was madness. Like so like to see Goku first turn Super Saiyan, like the very first time, like me and my boy Keith, like we literally ran out the house, like shouting out, "He did it!" Ah! Like we ran out the house. That shit was epic. Like, so I don't think I could ever get past that moment. Like you know, niggas could go Super Saiyan 5, Goku, Blue, and all that.
That was the whole talk back then, where you know, like I was so into it that I went searching on the internet, and I found pictures of Super Saiyan 5. It was like the fake thing called Dragon Ball AF, and I downloaded pictures and put it on my whole.
I would like Super Saiyan 1 was enough for me. Like to see a nigga go from the black hair to the gold hair, like that was enough because what it took to get that, like you know what I mean, like the hyperbolic time chamber. The people dying, like Earth was at its last, like Earth was cooked, like it was nothing we could do with Frieza.
No.
And like, you know, when Goku turned Super Saiyan, it was just like, okay,
it was epic. The music and everything was perfect.
Was an epic moment, like him just building up to even turn Super Saiyan took like 2 episodes.
For real,
niggas powering up for 2 episodes, like.
We was on it, bro. Like sitting for the TV to hook,
like waiting, bro. So that moment was dope. Like that whole moment was epic. Like I don't think it's gonna be hard to recreate that feeling.
Yeah, I don't think they really can. I think that's with everything though, because I grew up watching wrestling too, and I don't think you could ever recapture what we grew up with, like you know, the Stone Cold and the Rock, because these people transcended.
You can't recreate Mankind and Undertaker.
Never.
You would never like that match was the most brutalist shit ever. Like, and I'm not even a wrestling head, but I watched that. Like, I was watching that. Like, yo, this might be real.
Right.
Like, normally a lot of the stuff is whatever, but yo, he just fell from the top of the cage on spikes.
Right.
Like, this is real.
Right.
This is, you can't fake this. Like, this is real. Like,
I mean, a lot of things were planned out, but even back then, I watched interviews with Mankind, and he said he was really hurt, and he should have stopped. But he was just like
he did it for the sake of the match. Like he just kept going. So you know, I don't think stuff like that you could recreate it at all. Like it happened, and if you got to see it, you got to see it.
Right. That was the time we was on, and then you know, back then we had the back where I was at was Channel 49, where you could watch the little shit through the screen, the pay-per-views or whatever. All the pay-per-views, and then the other channel, you know, had to point on it and shit. For real. So we grew up the same generation. Another thing I wanted to talk about was when did you first get into hip hop? Because I know that I talked to Mom about it in the podcast too, where she started rapping too, and Walter, your brother, started rapping. Who was the first in the house to start?
I don't really know, to be honest. Like, cause music always been in our family. Like my cousin Marjanae, she always did music. My uncle Gerard was almost there before he passed. You know, we was always like freestyling and shit coming up. So it's always been around. I think the first person to kind of really take it serious was Walter, my brother.
Right.
Yeah, you know, with like, you know, just me being young and hearing like, Mom, I gotta go to the studio. I need money and all that stuff. So he was the first one. Like,
did you look up to him? Like,
I still look up to my brother to this day. Like, and I'm not afraid to say that, but like, I look at my brother like God, like with me understanding how talented he is. Like, nigga taught me everything.
Well, him and I working on music together, like just to see how quickly he was able to get it out. Like he's so professional with it, and like clockwork, just boom, boom.
He's an artist. He's a real artist, man. Right now, I don't really know necessarily. In his mind, I don't know what's really stopping him from saying this is exactly what I want to do and fuck everything else.
Right.
But if he did that, if he just said, I am going to be a rapper, fuck everything else, he out of here.
Right. Killing everybody.
I'm not out of here. But yeah, Walter taught me everything, man. Like how to ride bikes, how to skate, how to play basketball, how to draw.
I was actually going to ask about that. So, like, right around that same time, like, were you, because I see you play basketball still, were you into basketball, like, playing in school?
Yeah, I was playing high school, all that stuff back then.
Did you ever think you would go to college playing?
I most definitely thought I was. One of the reasons why I didn't go, because I was just way ahead of my time. Like, I was doing stuff that people do today, back then, and, like, coaches and referees and shit was just like,
right,
fuck is that? Like, what? No. Travel. I don't even know what it is. It just looked like travel. So I was doing Euro steps and step backs and all type of shit in the 90s. And
people was not going for that.
They wasn't going for that at all. So I had to wait till basketball caught up to them. So I lost interest in basketball because I'm like, man, like, I'm getting penalized for being better than everybody. I'm getting penalized for, like, not being a systematic player.
Wow.
And I just like, fuck it. Start taking rap more serious.
So did you start, like, rapping in high school, or was it?
Yeah, I was most definitely rapping in high school. Like, I wasn't, like, rapping in regards to, like, I want to be a rapper, but we had our little crew. It's called Street Legends. It's me and my guy Kevin and my other boy Larry. And we had, like, a little squad called Street Legends and shit, and we was rapping and shit. But it wasn't to the point to where I was like, we gonna be big rappers when we grow up. It's more just like a high school clique, you know what I mean? Like, we go to the studio, record shit. I go to my boy Kev's house and record shit on the 2-track, record. We was cooking though.
Right. So I actually started battle rapping before I really started rapping in high school, because I was like the nerdy kid, and people was like, "Oh, he can't rap or whatever." So I would have to prove myself,
like overprove yourself.
Yeah. So, and people was like, they took me seriously. So to the first time I actually battled somebody, and I started, I would think of stuff beforehand. I would freestyle too, but I would think of my first 2 bars, and then start with that, and I knew, okay, this will bring you in, and then I didn't think that I would continue doing it after high school, because I was so passionate about it then. What kept you passionate about hip hop as far as, like, the battle aspect of it goes?
I always knew, like, I wasn't doing this to I always knew I wasn't rapping because I wanted to be a rapper. Like, I was never rapping because I wanted to just, like, rap. Like, I always knew, like, I got to get in the position that I could use my voice to say things that need to be said, based off the simple fact we don't have no more leaders. Right. People respect rappers now. People don't respect, like, Martin Luther King's and them type of niggas no more. Like, you could get on the corner right now and tell people what they need to hear, and they gonna walk right past you. Right. They don't care about that no more. So I knew I got to put myself in a position of where they go, oh, he's famous, we'll listen to him, and then I could say the things that I need to say. So that was always my motivation. Like, it was never like I want to be a rapper, get chains and all out. Like, or never, like, I was just like, I just need to get in a position so I could speak to a large amount of people.
I was more. Hold on one second. So you were saying that.
But yeah, so like I was saying, like, I never rapped. I never rapped with the thought that I want to just be a rapper. Like, I always rap with the thought that I understand, like, how powerful a voice could be. So I just need to get to where I need to get to so that I can say the right things eventually.
So you were already on the mindset of wanting to lead people.
Yeah, I've been on this mindset since I was a baby. Like, since a baby.
So is there any artists that you looked up to? Because us being from the West Coast, like, I grew up, like, really, partially I was influenced by, like, Cube and, you know, and Snoop and everything like that. But then I got cable and started being able to experience Jay-Z, and I started looking up everybody from the East Coast to, like, you know, I'm like, okay, I like that Nas was rapping some, Bone was doing some, like, I'm like, lyricist.
When I was younger, I looked up to my brother. Like, he was better than everybody to me. He still is. Like, he was better than everybody. Like, in that era, like, I'm saying 90, 95, my brother was the best ever. Like, He was so better than everybody. So I was listening to my brother. I was listening to like BG Knockout, J.O. Felony.
Oh yeah.
That era, like Corrupt too.
Oh yeah. Corrupt a real spitter.
Yeah, like Corrupt, Crooked Eye. I was in that wave. That was like my little pocket. And then my brother's friend, Spider Loc, not G Unit Spider Loc, but
was another Spider Loc?
Another Spider Loc. Yeah, my brother had a group. It was Spider Loc, my brother, and another guy named Khalid. They had like a little group, so I would bang their tapes all day, like all day. So that's kind of what I was never like a radio person. I wasn't listening to Cube and none of them dudes. I wasn't really in the mainstream hip hop. Like I was like, yo, these my people, so I'm listening to them. But I think once I got out of that, I guess like I was already in the mind state of lyricism. Like like those dudes are already like Jail Felony, Crooked Eye, my brother, and those are like lyrical niggas on the West. Yeah. So I always had a fiend. Like I always had a desire for like high level rapping. Like when I heard like 1, 2, 3, 4, any, mini, miny, mode like type rap, it didn't register with me. So I got a whiff of Nas. Like one of my guys was like, yo, you should check out this Nas. We was at school. I think it's like 99. He like, yo, you should check out this Nas album. And he played me is it I Am? The one, whatever Nas album, and he like the Pharaoh on the front, the gold Pharaoh.
Oh yeah, yeah. With that had Nostradamus on it.
I think that's Nas I Am.
Yeah.
It had You Can Hate Me Now. That was on there. But yeah, he played me. I forgot the song, but it was like, I want to talk to the mayor, the FBI, and the motherfucking congressman. I want to talk. It was one of those songs. I listened to that one, and I'm like, yo, this song is crazy. Like, and I jumped on my Nas wave bag, like super heavy. Like I went all the way down, like the Nas rabbit hole, and I'm like, yo, this nigga talking the shit that other niggas ain't talking.
Right, right.
And I was in that bag. Then my other boy Kevin, he was like a super Tupac fan. I was never a Tupac fan. Like I didn't see it. And then when I started to like gain in like myself, I went back and I'm like, yo, this nigga make very good music for like globally, like keep your head up and all that shit. Like Brenda's got a bam, and then I'm like, I jumped on my Pocket Nas wave. Like those are my go-to players. Like Pocket Nas was my go-to player.
That's super dope.
Yeah.
That's super dope. I think I grew up similarly. Like I didn't have the hip hop people in my family like that, so it was like my family grew up real churchy. So it was like you going to church, but I started to branch out, especially when I hit my teenage years. So I'm like, I wanted to explore more hip hop. So I really fell in love with the lyricist part of it more than anything. After hearing Nas and after hearing Jay-Z, like my mom actually bought me a Nas and Jay-Z album, and then I got to hear. She bought me the Outkast album, and I heard Andre 3000, and I'm like, okay, people really are rapping and actually has something to say rather than just the chains and stuff. And then I got on Eminem back then too. And I started going underground, like so. But for a while there, I was more on the what you call it wave, what was out popular then. But my mind, I had to sit there and think, okay, anybody could do this.
Yeah.
Anybody could talk about this bullshit, but it doesn't equate to anything,
Yeah.
So I wanted to do more. So you spoke about Crooked Eye.
Yeah.
So you guys knew him.
Yeah, Crooked Eye and my brother started rapping again.
That's dope.
Like a lot of niggas didn't know that. Like I was like maybe like 4 or 5. Like they used to be in the room freestyling. I used to be in the back of the corner like, I don't know what the fuck they saying. Dope ass shit. But, you know what I mean? So I was young watching them like freestyle for hours. Like,
that's dope. So now, because you also know Disaster pretty well.
Yeah, yeah.
So now you know that they're about to battle soon. Do you have any thoughts about that's a big look for battle rap as a whole?
In all actuality, that battle has a high possibility to shift hip hop.
I agree.
Like a super high possibility. And I know, just based on me and Crooked Eye talking about battle rap before, and me understanding Crooked Eye's origins as a lyricist, he's clearly the best in Slaughterhouse by far.
Oh yeah,
by far. He's most definitely underrated because he don't get into a lot of the drama that a lot of other people get into.
most definitely.
He's more like cigar, chill, laid back. But he's most definitely like I don't think too many people want those type of problems with him.
I agree.
Um,
And it looks like he's taking it serious.
yeah,
because I feel
know
like Budden didn't take it as serious.
no, Budden a different type of person, man. Budden is a completely different type of animal than than uh Crooked Eye, and I'm not taking away nothing from Budden because I think Budden is amazing.
Oh yeah,
he's amazing at what he does. And pain, passion, heartfelt lyricism, you could get that from Budden. Strictly just bars.
Oh yeah.
Crook is there. So I think this battle will be crazy. I said this in my blog. Diz know what he has to do for this battle too.
Oh yeah.
Like Diz has a side of him that is probably one of the most lyricalest people on earth. And sometimes he'll not do that in order to take other approaches. But I think if Diz does the things that we talk about behind the scenes, if he tells himself, I want to be known as the greatest lyricist ever, and I'm going to take this battle like that, and I think they'll go to a plateau. But yeah, I'm gonna most definitely be tuned all the way into that.
Speaking of Diz, they have him and Lush have a podcast on No Jumper Network now, which I think is an excellent look for rap and battle rap, especially to have eyes on it like that.
Yeah, for sure.
So, do you have any opinions on that? And do you think that it's a good look for
anything? Anything is a good look, especially in regards to merging a culture that a culture that the mainstream audience don't know about.
Right, right.
Merging those cultures with mainstream audience is like it's dope. So anything that could push that culture forward, 100%.
I think some people see hip hop as just this. Battle rap as just this niche thing, but I think it's like all most rappers have done it before, in some shape or form because hip hop is so competitive.
Every single rapper in the mainstream industry was a battle rapper
At one time or another.
Everybody. Kendrick was a battle rapper. Jay-Z got hella battles online. Right. Busta Rhymes got battles. Wyclef and all them niggas got battles. Like everybody battled before.
Right.
Like battling, it wasn't until like BET Freestyle Friday era when battle rap separated from hip hop.
Right.
Like back in that era, like if you came to the studio, you got tested. Like battle rap is a part of hip hop.
Exactly.
It is a start, the foundation and fundamentals of hip hop. And majority of major album sales, they sold crazy due to rap beef, which is technically battle rap.
Exactly.
So, but it wasn't until like I'll say this. There's two type of battle rappers at one point in time. You had the niggas that just had hella verses on deck from old songs and all type of stuff. And then you had like the super off the top battle rappers. So when those worlds merged, right, the off the top people, they were very good at off the top, but they couldn't write. Like most people that was off the top, they couldn't write.
Right.
And when the off the top people won, because back then we were battling to get record deals. That was the point. Like battle whoever you can so you could get a deal. Because I'm trying to prove to everybody I'm the best.
Right.
But the freestyle dudes started winning. And when they got put in the studios, they didn't know how to write these albums because they spent their whole time freestyling, not writing. So that it became a stigmatism. Oh, battle rappers can't make music. But it was never like a written battle.
It was a big thing. People would win competitions. Like you get a Jin who win this big competition, and then he gets signed by Rough Riders, and
it's because like these are the freestylers. Right. Like all the freestylers started winning these major competitions, and when they got in the studio settings, they're not writers. And we all know in music you gotta be a writer.
Oh, definitely.
And another thing we didn't know in music is a lot of people had writers. Some of our favorite rappers had writers. Yeah. But they were saying, since you so lyrical over here, why you not? And they just put that whole stigmatism like battle rappers can't make music, and that started with the Freestyle Friday shit. Like all them Freestyle Friday niggas that won over and over, all them niggas got major deals and flopped
big time
because they were freestylers.
And I was expecting a lot from them, but I didn't see that it doesn't translate if you don't know how to write a song. But I started freestyling, but then I was like, okay, I want to write songs. I had a group, so we need to be able to make songs. I was wondering, like an opinion, do you think that the scheming in battle rap came from song structure?
Yeah, battle rap is music. Most of the niggas that started off battle rap was using they verses from songs. Like it coexists. Like I think the problem now though is battle rap held its lyricism up here and like music is like down here like right now in today's standards. So it's like and it's crazy because people still say weird shit like battle rappers can't make music and it's like anybody can make what's out right now.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? Like so it's weird. It's like a weird conversation to have right now. But I think the two worlds still go together. I just think like the hip hop space is lower now. So they don't merge. It's like oil and water. Like you can't really mix oil and water. Like they just gonna separate.
Yeah.
But it's weird. It's weird.
I think we're on a lyricism making a resurgence though because people were sick of the dance thing or the very. I mean, some of that stuff is decent. It is good for what it was. Like for what the people was trying to cater to.
Yeah.
But
look, man, people fail to realize hip hop does this over and over.
Oh yeah.
So you had fucking world class wrecking crew.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Hip hop it to the hip it up, stop it. Right? You had them, then you had Run DMCs. Right? They came with a little more. Yeah, it's serious now.
Right.
We don't look like them rappers Daylyt and all them niggas look kind of crazy back in the day. Them niggas wearing cut off shirts. And all, they was wild, bro. They was wilding back then. Them niggas are super freaks back then. They was looking like Rick James and shit. Them niggas were different. So Run DMC came and added like a more serious level. Then you had like a more skill set. Then it went back to like party music. Then it went back to like the Rakims and them.
Right.
Then it went back to like Luke Pop That Pussy and them. Then it went back. It just keep going like this. Like you get a whole lyrical era. Then you get like a party era. Because your brain gotta like digest. Your brain gotta go, okay, I heard enough. Let me just vibe out for a minute.
Right.
So we'll get heavy lyricism, then we'll get vibe. Right. Heavy lyricism, vibe. You had the Lupe era, then you had like Soulja Boy in them era.
Right.
Then you had like a good Nas and them, all them Eminem them came back. Then you had like the New Boys in the Jerk era.
Right.
Then it bounced back Black Thought and all them Mos Def, Talib Kweli. Then you had fucking whatever was after the Jerk era, like Hit the Nays and all that shit. Right. Then it bounced back, like it bounced back to Benny the Butcher and all that. So it's like, right now, you get what I'm saying? So like, it's like, right now, it's like, it's teetering back to a hip hop.
I honestly think that both are needed because I feel like hip hop is a form of expression and it's a way to get out whatever. It's a way to get out what you're going through, and also a way to uplift people. It's a way, like you said, you wanted to be a leader and reach out and say things that other people can't say.
Yeah.
So I feel like we're getting back. I think both are needed on both sides. So
100%.
So I don't down people. I don't like it when someone I feel has no talent for this does it. But I feel like that with any kind of music, like if you don't have the talent to do it, then you shouldn't be doing it. If you don't take it seriously, if you
But see, the problem with that is, look at some of the biggest records that's being pushed. They look like jokes. They look like and sound like jokes. So, and just not to get super technical, but we know who pushing these agendas. It's people who want to see us fail.
Oh yeah.
So what they do is they sign these niggas with the foo-foo shit because they know more. If that nigga made it off foo-foo shit, more people gonna try to do foo-foo shit to try to make it. So it's a whole loop cycle. Like
I was on the mindset when I was younger that I actually like probably like high school, early 2000s. I knew I didn't want to deal.
yeah,
I didn't want to deal because I didn't want to get it to a record label and then they tell me who I was gonna be.
yeah,
You can't tell me how to act
yeah.
and put this clothes on and wear this and say this.
Most of these niggas are walking billboards to whatever they say. Like and it's just me being in the industry. Like a lot of these niggas are like the records are given to them. They do whatever. Like I said, you seen that video where a nigga made XYZ jump and clap and count. I don't want to say it, but y'all could Google it. High up nigga made a nigga that's a quote unquote street nigga that said jump and count. Nigga just jump and count. You see the video where Kanye West, you know what I mean? No disrespect to Ye, but the white nigga told Kanye, hold my food, and Kanye is holding the plates, and the nigga's eating his food, the plates. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, no disrespect to nobody, but it's like, it's just certain shit at that level of the game. I kill one of them niggas.
Oh yeah.
Like, I'm just not.
I feel like a lot of people would do anything for money, but you have to have enough integrity about yourself that you can't be pushed off a certain thing. Because like, I'm at a low level right now as far as YouTubing and podcasting goes, but I'm not gonna do anything that's against my morals or what I believe in.
Yeah.
So if you come to me with a product, I'm not gonna promote some fake stuff that I don't agree with.
Yeah.
So I feel like you have to have that integrity within yourself. Like, this is a line I'm not gonna cross. Getting money is cool, bro. Like, that's great.
Yeah.
But what are you gonna? Where does it stop? What are you gonna do? Anything for money? Like, there's you have to have a limit to where you're gonna go. And I think a lot of these people don't. And these kids see these people doing whatever, and I'm gonna do the same thing, and then get to the record label and they could take you to do whatever. Go out there and say whatever. People, you ask them about what's going on in the world, and I don't know.
Yeah.
You don't know. You don't know shit. Why?
Yeah, nah, it's 100%. But like I said, man, it's like all these high up niggas in this game, like niggas evil, bro. All these niggas evil. Like, all these niggas pedos. All these niggas evil. And
they getting exposed by the
nah, they not getting exposed. That shit getting covered right up. Ain't no exposure. Ain't no list. Ain't no that shit getting covered right up. But these niggas is doing anything for these niggas, man. And it, not even for them. It's for the dollar bill. Like
right.
it is what it is.
So, what was the first battle you had that was like was officially like a rap battle?
Rap battle. A lot of them, like, we was doing this shit called the Pit. Those were like official rap battles. It was like '04.
Oh wow.
Oh yeah, '04, '04, '05. So we had a setup that was just as big as like Summer Madness and shit like that in '04, '05.
Wow.
Yeah, like big stage, DJ.
In LA?
Yeah, in LA, in Culver City.
Oh wow.
So we had that early. So I had like hella big battles early, like early. Um, Other than that, I would say in moving to the next era, it might have been like Philly Swain.
Right.
But there was a YouTube era. Like all that stuff was before YouTube. So I say like when YouTube became a thing, I would say like Philly Swain or no, like Locksmith, Passwords.
Right. I think I went back and watched the Locksmith battle.
Yeah,
it was on prime time.
Me and Locksmith and Password. So that was like my return back to the scene, Locksmith and Password. And then after that, I dipped out too and then returned again.
So when I saw the Locksmith battle, it seemed like you were really like serious. I'm a lyrical. What made you start doing the so-called antics?
Like antics? No, I understood views.
Right.
We ain't in the era of skill no more. I don't give a fuck about skill. They give a fuck about numbers, clicks, monetization, who watching. And we in the era where people so dumbed down, like people so dumbed down. Like if it's not something that makes them laugh, it's not something that's violent, or it's not something that's extremely funny, they'll scroll right past it.
Oh, definitely.
They'll scroll right past it. We're just talking about general public. So I realized if I want to reach these people, I gotta speak in a language that they understand, which is shenanigans.
But within that, you were still able to
But
deliver a lot of stuff behind that.
I had a method. One shenanigan, 5 or 6 crazy moments, like battles. One shenanigan, shake the internet, 5 or 6 crazy moments. So I just kept running that same play over and over and over, and it worked every time.
Did you ever receive any backlash from people that you knew personally from doing that?
Yeah, like a lot of everybody, nobody agreed with what I was doing. Like nobody agreed with my face tattoo. Like nobody agreed with nothing I did. But people can't see the future because everybody don't stand on the same stone that I stand on.
Right.
Everybody don't want the same future that I want. So I don't care about how they feel when I know what I'm trying to do and where I gotta go.
Right.
I don't care about their opinions at all.
I think that's dope that you be willing to step out like that, because even though you have the vision, it's hard to go against the grain.
Yeah.
You know, people.
But like if you know, to speak to my mom and them, you and the family now, like they'll tell you like I ain't never went with the flow ever since I was literally like 8 or 9 months. Like all the kids, my mom will tell you, my mom will put me in a daycare. All the kids be over there playing with toys, and I'd be way away from everybody. Like when I was young, so I never went with the flow ever. Still to this day, I don't. Like I think it's just part of my JavaScript. Like however I was programmed, it was never meant to go with the flow of society at all. So I never had an urge. Like I don't smoke, I don't drink, nothing. Like I never had no urges to do what everybody else is doing ever.
So you never were the person to be susceptible to peer pressure like
Ever.
people.
Zero. Like I laugh at a nigga trying to peer pressure me into something like it don't even. It's almost like my Dragon Ball Z power thing so high, like it can't get through me, like no matter what. Like,
I honestly think that's dope that you had that from a young age, because people in school, I think our thing as humans is we want to be accepted by people.
yeah.
But it'll make you do things that you don't think you should do. And I had that within me as well before, because you couldn't really peer pressure me into doing something.
Yeah.
Like people was like, "Oh, hit this, hit this."
Yeah.
No, I'm good.
Yeah.
No, come on, bro. You know you a pussy. I don't care.
Yeah, man.
That's cool.
See, I was so different that I didn't even get in situations to where I could be peer pressured because I stayed away from people that wasn't really good for me. Like I knew who was who, I knew what was what, and I was like, oh, y'all over there, I'm over here. So I never really.
I'm pretty sure that was even harder, especially because you guys grew up in Watts.
Yeah, man.
And I know they should tell me there was a difference made between the boys and the girls.
Yeah.
And I think the boys were much more susceptible to the gang life or whatever.
But like they should tell you, like I've been different, bro. Like my nigga, like I used to climb 100-foot trees. I used to like nobody was skateboarding. I skateboarded. I was trying everything, bro. I just never went with the flow. Never like I go in the middle of the park and draw. Like I was just doing super different shit from everybody. Like, and it's crazy because all them niggas that wanted to be accepted, I looked at them like weirdos. I was like, these niggas weird. Like, what? Like, okay, all 5 of these niggas got on the same shoes, and you run into the store to get the same shoes that all 5 of these niggas got on. Like, that's weird to me. That like all that shit was weird. I'm like, yo, like, y'all don't want to be individuals,
Right.
and that's how I looked at life. Like, I just wanted to be an individual my whole life.
I think we're still there today, where people don't want to live the individual lifestyle. People don't want to be themselves. Like, it's okay to be yourself, and I think being comfortable with it when you're younger is easier when you get older, like we are now. Because I was on that wave too. Like I was listening to rock music before everybody else. Was like, oh, niggas don't do that. It's just like
on it, bro. I was all of it.
Right, I'm like, this shit cool to me. Like this shit, I like this. So I'm a bump it when I go out. I'm gonna play Nas, Jay-Z. I'm gonna play Linkin Park. I'm gonna play Limp Bizkit right after that, because this is what I like and this is what I'm into. Now, if that's not what you're into, then that's cool. But I'm being me, and I think that's what I think that's a great thing. Do you teach your sons to be the same thing? To be the individual?
My son don't give no fucks about like my son, 11 years old. He don't care about what shoes he got on. He don't. It don't even register. Like is this shirt a XYZ shirt? Is these shoes? It don't even register. He just put it on, and I'm outside. Like it don't even click in his mind. What is this? So
Was it his idea to step into the thing and do what you were doing, or was it yours?
what as far as what
Like to battle in the rap and stuff like that, like the sunlight thing, where you had the whole card.
No. He it's more so like, every blue moon, like I'll see him singing or I'll see him like freestyling and stuff. So I was just like, hey man, that's what we gonna do. But he really don't give a fuck. He like whatever we doing, that's fine. But he don't give a fuck.
That's dope.
But I don't, you know what I mean? I don't be like, this what you gonna do, son. Like I just let him like whatever you into, that's what you into. Like,
He's a very free spirit, and one thing I
Yeah.
did notice is he questions.
yeah, a lot. He was definitely gonna like decompose anything you put in front of him. Oh, I get it now. All right, let's go.
I remember the first time I met him, it was like 2016, and well, in our generation, that was seen as disrespect, but I've never seen that as disrespect because asking a question can never be disrespectful.
Yeah.
We said, go over here. Well, why do I need to do this?
Yeah.
Well, because, and then I had the explanation too. Okay, let's explain it to him.
Yeah.
What's the harm in explaining it to him? Once he understands, then he made the decision to do what he wants to do. But I think thinking differently from a young age and encouraging that is always a great thing.
No, for sure.
Another thing I wanted to talk about was TDE. Like I'm a big TDE fan, but way back in 2009, I had Kendrick's first thing. I was a fan of J-Rock. One of my friends that I was and locked up with in juvie when I was younger actually did a song with J-Rock and Kendrick called "Roll On," and he it's crazy because I was listening to Kendrick and Jay for like a year at that point when I found out he did the song with them, and I heard the song and I'm like, this voice sounds really familiar. This voice sounds really familiar. And then right about the time I got on Facebook and he added me and he had posted it, I'm like, that's him.
Yeah.
So I hit him up and I was like really deep grinding. I was trying to get back on my rapping thing. So I hit him up and I'm like, possibly could we do something,
Yeah.
And like I said, I'll pay to come down. And he was like, well, we can come down. But I was living in San Bernardino and he was in the LA area. And he was just like, well, I'm not sure if he'll be here or when he'll be here. And I'm like, bro, I got money, but this is like a risk for me to come all the way out here. I don't know.
Not sure, yeah.
Bro, I don't know LA like this. And people was like, well, you could have had a chance to be in the studio with Kendrick. And I'm just, at the time, it didn't make sense to me. He wasn't Kendrick like he is now.
Yeah.
I respected his lyricism and everything. I'm like, okay, he's dope, but it's like, I'm trying to get where he's at.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to take a chance to go out here and nobody comes to the studio and
you just out here. Yeah.
Yeah. And then so we ended up doing the battle with Ab-Soul, which is my second favorite from TDE. How did that end up coming to pass?
Man, it's my affiliation with them is like wild. Like a lot of people don't know, like me and J-Rock grew up together. Like we were like best friends all junior high school.
Really?
Like my dog. Like when we got to school, it was just me and him all junior high school. And even after high school, like we used to fuck with this label called Forsaken Records. This is like maybe 2004, 2005, 2006 area. And me and Rock was rapping together then. This is before TDE. Me and Rock was rapping together. And then one day Rock just never came back to the studio. But just so happened Top got him out of the projects and took him to another studio. Swooped him, yeah.
Yeah, damn.
So, me and Rock always had this relationship our whole life, like childhood relationship our whole life.
Quick question, because I talked to Walter about it, because Grave Street and Bounty Hunter, Mortal Enemies. Because I asked him, would you do a song with an enemy? And he said, I would. Yeah. But he said, I can't because of how I'll be looked if I go back to my neighborhood. Yeah. Because it's so many blood ties, things that's happening.
Yeah, it's weird because everybody enemies, but everybody related. It's weird, bro. Like, it's weird. I don't give a fuck. I don't play by nobody rules. I give no fuck at all. But yeah, so like we super cool. So that was the beginning of everything. So moving forward, everybody we rapping together. Rock leaves our little shit we was in. Rock blows up. Just my guy. I never reached out to him for nothing. Like the whole time, I probably could have. I never reached out to him for nothing. I'm just like, oh, my guy up. You know what I mean?
I think it's a different thing when you're like you have that mindset. Like I don't want to ask nobody for shit.
No, it wasn't even that. My thing is, it's like this. Like you got some niggas. Let's take Goku and Vegeta, right?
Right.
Goku turns Super Saiyan, then you got Vegeta on the sideline, salty. Like, man, I wanna do that. My thing was like, nigga, I'm gonna get there. I don't know how long it's gonna take me to get there, but like I got a path. Like I don't want no handouts. Like I'm gonna get there, and I think the respect level will be a lot different when I get there. So moving forward, my career took off. His career took off. They did a lot of pushing in New York. They didn't push out here. Like TDE didn't push out here.
Really?
When it was coming up. Hell no. The West Coast wasn't fucking with rap like that. It was fucking with the New Boys and jerk music and all that shit. They went with ratchet music. They was fucking with all that. They wasn't fucking with no lyricists back then. So they pushed on the East. So I was on the East that time. So when I was doing the battle rap shit, they was doing the music shit. So we was hitting the same clubs like every other weekend. I just was battling either before they show or after they show, whatever. So moving forward after that, I got so big with battle rap, like, my name was buzzing like in the battle rap streets, and battle rap started to become extremely popular. It started to break out of the undergrounds and reach like mainstream shit, because shit went from 20, 30,000 views to millions.
Oh yeah.
That shit started getting millions of views. So now we breaking out. So one day Ab-Soul hit me on Twitter. I was like, yo, Light, man, if you in New York, we in New York, pull up. So I pulled up on him. I met him. I'm in Soho Lounge. We chopped it up. Spent like the whole night together, cab hopping and shit. Couple of days together, just vibing out. And maybe like a month later, after we like kindled a relationship, or not in that way, but like a friendship.
Right.
And one day he was like, man, like I got a battle. I'm like, what you talking about? He like, I got a battle with you, nigga. I'm like, come on, so. He like, nigga, I can't be saying I'm one of the greatest lyricists ever if I don't test that water.
Right.
I'm like, all right, well, whenever you ready, I'm ready.
Did you think he was serious at that
I
time?
didn't think he was serious. I didn't think he was serious. So one day we in the lab, that nigga just like, nigga, I want to do it. I'm like, what? The cameras came out, nigga, and it was go time.
So did you have a chance to even prep for it, or did you?
Nah, I'm a different type of animal in that space. Like in regards to like battle rap, like I'm a whole different type of animal. Like I only need about maybe 3 or 4 seconds to get some shit ready. Like my mind worked completely different from a lot of niggas. So I loaded up. As soon as they was like, let's do it, and all the cameras started getting and people started getting in place, I was loading up. Pop. I was literally just putting bullets in the gun. Clap, 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 clap. So
yeah, he went first, right?
Yeah, he went first. So after that happened, you know what I mean? Like, of course, that made it to his album. So I was already affiliated in it,
Did you know that it was gonna make the album?
I had no idea. So it made the album. It did what it did online. It went all the way up. After that, you know, so that album, I'm gonna tell you how this all was crazy. So that album, when it dropped, I went to the album release party.
Mm-hmm.
I just so happened to see Willie B there, Ichiban Don.
Mm-hmm.
And Ichiban is actually somebody who started at the pit with me. When I first started battling, they did beat battles.
Mm-hmm.
So when I was, my very first battle, Ichiban's very first beat battle was there too.
That's dope.
So when I seen Ichiban at Ab-Soul release party, come to find out, Ichiban had been producing for TDE that whole time.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't know. I didn't know. So I seen him be like, yo, what's up, Light? I'm like, yo, what's up, nigga? I ain't seen you since the pit. Boom. Boom. He like, yo, bro, we got to get some music together. So from that day, from meeting Ab-Soul that day, I ended up working with Ichiban Don. So Ichiban Don helped me put my first project together, which was Let There Be Light.
Great project, by the way.
Just so happened that Ichiban Don and Punch was super cool. So Ichiban Don kind of brought Punch in, was like, yo, we working on this. It wasn't Punch. We love to get a verse from Punch. And then Punch came and did a verse. And then before you know it, I chopped it up with Punch. We established a relationship. And then it just kept going. Like, me and Punch and Will rocked out maximum times. Before you know it, Punch like, yo, I'm working on my own project. Pull up to the stew. So then I started pulling up to the TDE stools and all that stuff. Because we worked out of Will's stew at first. And I started putting up to all the TDE stuff. And before you know it, I was in the mix.
How is it working with them? Because I know their work ethic is crazy.
It's wild because everybody works separate. Like, yeah, they're a squad, but like if Dot over there, that whole studio is Dot, and if you ain't part of Dot camp, then that shit blocked off. If this is Scissor part, then that shit is this Scissors. Like if this is Room Full of Mirrors part, it's Room Full of Mirrors part. Like it be blocked off. Like you don't never really bother people while they working. Everybody be in their own space. But it's work though. Niggas be working for sure.
So it's a real work environment. They take it serious.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's 100% like serious work though.
So are you officially part of the crew?
I'm officially Room Full of Mirrors, and Room Full of Mirrors is under TD, so like a sub label under.
That's dope. That's dope. So do you have any opinions on Kendrick leaving TD?
Yeah, but it's more so stuff that I'm not entitled to speak on, really, based on
I understand and respect that.
No, it ain't even a respect me. I just don't know the full situation. So my mom always told me, if you don't really know what's going on, shut your ass up. And that's kind of what it is. Like I really don't know. I don't know what's going on in the front, in the back. I have no idea. I just know, based on what I've seen online, Top is like, I want you to venture into your own space. And Kendrick is like, I think I'm ready to venture into my own space. And there you have it.
It seems like it's love on both sides.
And that's what I'm saying. It's like, it's kind of like your baby bird, like you can fly at the nest now. You know what I mean? No parent want their baby to go, but
right.
It is what it is. So that's kind of how I look at it. Like, one thing I can say though is even with Kendrick starting his label and shit, I hope he do sign some more lyricists.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I hope. No disrespect to Nas, but I feel like Nas should have started a whole army of like woke rappers and shit like that. You know what I mean? No disrespect to the niggas he signed, but
I mean, at one time he did when he had Mega over there and he had somebody else over there. I couldn't remember, but they started beefing. I think people started.
Nas got an army of niggas that he don't even know, but he has an army of rappers that followed his teaching.
Oh yeah, definitely.
You get what I'm saying? Like, so if he started like a Griselda type of group with just like mad woke niggas,
oh yeah,
that should be epic. Like, so hopefully Kendrick start like, hopefully he signs some more art. No disrespect, because I fuck with Keem. Keem should have a nigga lit. But if he just gets some more artists that is in the field of what he does,
right,
that should be epic.
Yeah, and I'm actually like, I think that the album that he put out was a big step for hip hop too, because in the Black community, period, because we don't talk about getting therapy, we don't talk about our mental health at all. It's just like, oh, you a bitch, like,
yeah,
make you start crying, oh, you a bitch, bro, like, but we got issues and generational curses and shit that we got to break. So I think that's why that album was so powerful.
Yeah.
And I think it's long overdue that we had a conversation about it. And then for Kendrick to wait until he gets to this level to do it says a lot, because he could have just did anything right now. People would have accepted anything.
He had a lot of conversation on there. There's a lot of conversation on there. He spoke on a lot of things. He touched on a lot of subjects. Like I said, we in the era where people so fucked up, bro. Like people so dumbed down that they was just like, he not talking about this, he not talking about that, he not talking about fucking, he not talking about shooting and killing. I'm out.
Right.
But for the very few people like us with a brain, it was perfect for us. But general public, they cooked, man. Like it's no hope. Like it's over. There was a time where you could like possibly like talk some sense into some people. It's over, bro.
Yeah, it's over. I hope we get to a point where people can have these conversations and people just wake up. Because I'm just sick of people being asleep and not knowing what's really going on with the world. And
it ain't no waking up, bro. So it's just for the people who woke. That's who woke. That's it. Everybody else, it's a wrap, bro. Zombified. It's over.
I'm always so much on the uplift Black people thing. Like I hate it when I hear people disrespect us or not know your history, bro. It's like we're in a age where it's easy to access that shit, bro.
It's everywhere.
It's you can just type in anything and look the shit up, bro. So ignorance is the choice now.
I would take that back. It's not even a choice, bro. You got to think some of this shit is generational.
Yeah.
Some of this shit is generational. Some people born into shit like, like for example, no disrespect, but like it's stuff like this. Like, we had a barbecue and, I don't want to say a name, but, my sister boyfriend and not you and not Veta.
We all know.
Yeah,
The family
but
know.
my other sister boyfriend was putting beer on the barbecue. So just think about this. Yeah, you want to do it for your own flavor, but what about the kids? Be like, nah, I give it flavor. You putting Hennessy and beer on the ribs. Like, the kids gonna eat these, so what's gonna happen? They don't know what it is, but they gonna develop
A taste.
a taste.
Yeah.
They gonna develop a taste for some stuff. They don't even know why they like it. And I know a lot of people did that to us coming up back in the days. Like with certain shit they did. I see it all the time. Like, no disrespect, but like my little cousin, baby mom over here, and like she pregnant and she's smoking a vape. Why is she pregnant? You get what I'm saying? Like it's this shit.
You don't know how many times I tried to tell her, like, I'm like, baby girl, like, yo, see, like, you are
No, this what I'm saying.
feeding her this. Like,
look, that baby gonna come out and smoke for sure, 100%. It's already a flavor in her DNA. So like that's what I'm saying. Like this shit is now even with that scenario, it go deeper than that. Like we going like Portrayal's mom mom it was fucked up.
oh yeah, I know.
You get my dad's girlfriend at the moment, which is my Portrayal's mom's my sister. Her mom was fucked up. So then you go, her mom was fucked up. Then Nisha was fucked up. And Portrayal is fucked. Like he's in jail for life, and it's all due to a generational fuck up. And now he don't know himself. So what? He get a random chick pregnant. She don't know herself. And look, and now the baby don't got no daddy. He gonna grow up in the street for sure. The mama smoking vapes while she pregnant. That baby gonna grow up. It's generational, bro. And you times that by all the music they listening to.
Mm-hmm.
They don't even register anything woke ever in their whole world. Like, so that's generational, bro.
Yeah,
it's sad, but
speaking about that, like, it's hard because I had so many conversations with my nephew about, like, you have an opportunity, especially when he left the situation he was in. I told him, like, you have an opportunity to do whatever you want, but
Yeah.
he comes out and decides to go to the wrong people, and I'm like, but you had so many people. I said you could have hit me up anytime. I don't care if we blood or not. I will come pick you up where you at, and we could go talk wherever you need to go. But you don't have to go here. But you choose to. Why?
Yeah.
Why do you choose to make these bad decisions? And then I didn't get a chance to talk to him since his son was born. But it's like, why go down this path when you didn't have to?
You can't say that though. You don't know what he had to do because you didn't live the life that he lived, and you don't feel the pain that he feels. Yeah, Portrayal's quiet. He cover up a lot, but I'm a child that I'm a boy that grew up in a fucked up situation. Seeing my father, do some of the things he did. You can't only you going through that could process the pain of what it.
100%.
You get what I'm saying?
100%.
So you got to think like mom left them in houses and all. You know what I mean? Like he dealing with whole different issues that you can't fathom. So people like that, and I know this specifically. All he looking for is love.
Yeah.
Only one way to get love through the streets. Homies, big homies, through the streets, because the streets trick you into believing it protect you. So he just wanted love, bro. Just searching for love. That's it.
How does it make you feel to see that? Because, like, it's deep in the family and witnessing these situations that people that you grew up with, like you said, your sister, and then now nephews and nieces going through things that I know it has to hurt, but how does it feel like to?
Nah, it used to hurt. Now it don't. I just understand it. Um, in regards to God or the Most High or whatever you believe in, like if you ain't fixed it, then maybe you wanted it to happen. Maybe this is a part of something. Like, and you know, at this point, I can only do what I can, and if that doesn't change it, like I've had talks with the boys, you know what I mean? They got a person in their family directly that is successful, like right here, close, and if that is not enough to motivate you, then I don't know. But like I learned to just not saying you gotta let people die, but it is what it is.
I have the same situations in my family too, where it's like I see these things and it's just like I can only do so much.
Yeah.
I could, because I'm gonna be there for you. I'm the type of person in my family. I'm for real. I'm really gonna be there for you.
Yeah.
But I'm not. I can't pick you up, keep picking you up if you keep falling down.
Yeah.
Like if you call out to me, I'm gonna help you. But there's things that I can't give you if you're a drug addict. I can't give you money.
Yeah.
Because you gonna go smoke it.
one of my OGs, like kind of like teachers in my corner. Not necessarily a teacher, but a person that I convey information with. He told me that some people are porcupines, and I never really understood that. And he said every time you grab them, you poke yourself.
Mm.
You keep trying to pick them up, you ain't gonna do nothing but keep poking yourself every time you try to pick them up. At one point in time, you gotta leave the fucking porcupine alone, dog.
That's some wisdom right there, bro.
Yeah, it looked friendly and cuddly and like a regular rodent. It's a porcupine, dog. At some point in time, you gotta go. You gotta pull your thorns out and go. All right, little porcupine, go on about your goddamn business.
Right.
And that's what it is, bro. Like, I think the hardest part for me though was really sitting there and understanding all the causes of these traumas, all the causes and effects of what's happening, and it should all stem from the crack era.
Oh yeah.
All of it. All of the shit we see right now in today's time, all the problems that we have, it all stem from the crack era. This is a generation of crack babies. And not necessarily direct crack babies, but the children and children of broken homes.
Oh yeah.
And all that shit started with the crack.
And it was meant to divide the black community.
It's called crack.
Right.
What is a crack? A crack breaks something. It literally separates something. Crack. So that's what it's called, crack.
And it hit close to home with you because of Dad.
Yeah.
Like I told Daisha, we talked about it a lot. I said there's things that your older siblings experienced that you didn't have to.
I caught the middle of it.
So you got to see a lot of it.
No, I was right there because I was I called myself my dad. I was the hip baby. I was with my dad all the time. All the time, like from born all out on the couch every day with my dad. Like I didn't leave his arms. So when that shit happened, that hit me hard. Like, yo, what the fuck going on? Like, where the hell is dad? Like, that shit hit me super hard. Like, super, super hard. Like, so I could see it. Like,
do you think it affects how you parent and how the father that you are?
100%. Like, but my dad is a good dude. Like, outside of like the drugs and stuff like that. Like, and even for him to be able to bounce back the way he bounced back, like he was always a good dude in regards to like making sure the household was right, making sure we did the things we were supposed to do. Like he was never like a fucked up like person, like ever. Like even in the midst of doing drugs, he still would come home and make sure stuff was right. You know what I mean? But it got bad, like it got real bad to where he was laid out on the street and shit bad. So I just had to see that shit walking home from school. I had to step over dad, shit like that. So it was wild, man. It was wild. It was super wild. But everything happens for a reason.
To see where he's at now, does it like give you like a little sense of pride that he's
no,
able to kick it like he did?
No, it let me know what type of brain I got. If that nigga could, if my dad could beat that, like he was gone. Like I'm talking like he was gone. Like one of the niggas you see at the store on the ground, gone. Like ain't skid row. And for him to come back to like regular him again, that let me know my mind could conquer anything.
Right.
Yeah, for sure.
And there's no disrespect to him. I plan to have him on too, but he like I didn't see him like that. So
got bad.
I'm happy, but I got to see mom's next person, which is Pops, and I didn't get to see the good parts of him.
Yeah, he went down too. He went down alcohol. But no disrespect to Pops, but like he come from fucked up lineage too. Like, and my mama tell you like I gave him hell when he first came.
I was gonna ask you about that.
Like hell. Like I'm talking Dennis the Menace here. I used to put sugar in his gas tank, all type.
Yeah.
I gave that nigga hell coming up. And I only did that because I knew he could watch this now, but I knew he wasn't a good fit for my mom. Just based on like his ways, what he was on, just chilling outside, drinking beers, fucking spray painting bikes and shit. Like niggas, other shit to do in life. Like you don't care about like you don't care about something bigger than this corner, right? And that was my mind state with him. Like I seen that he didn't see. You know how some people want more out of life? Like some people, like, I'm going to climb this successful ladder to possibly be a billionaire, X, Y, Z. Like, he never had that desire ever from the very first day I ever met him. So
he was in that box there.
He was in the box. Yeah, he was in the ultra box. Like, and I used to be like, I didn't know how to tell my mom that thing. But I used to be like, this ain't it. Like, my mom deserved like a lawyer or, you know what I mean? Like one of those type of niggas. But this nigga ain't it. This is the typical nigga that's gonna live and die around here.
That's got to be a hard thing, especially when he's supposed to be the father figure and Mrs. Mom's dude, and the dude that she's with. It had to be a difficult thing to accept, especially when you saw that he couldn't see outside of his box. He had his blinders on.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people today have their blinders on as far as the neighborhood they grew up in. They don't see outside of it.
Yeah, no,
but you have to be able to see there's a whole world outside of your block, bro. There's a whole world outside of your space that you in. If you get out and see it.
But that was the thing, like his mind state, his family, his friends, they were all in that box. They had no desire to be anything successful outside of that. And I told my mom that maybe when I was like 11 or maybe 11 or 9, I think I probably got into. I was probably 5th grade. And I was like, man, this nigga a fucking loser. Like, and I got a whooping for cussing and all that. And I'm like, watch, just watch. And I was like, I ain't gonna say nothing about it again. Just watch. And here we are 20 plus later. And it's like, told you the nigga wasn't shit. But parents never listen to their kids because they think they parents.
Right. Which is something that I promised myself I wouldn't do with my kids. I wanna listen and really hear them out because they're little people too. So like I'm the type of person that I think the reason why kids gravitate to me because I actually listen.
Yeah.
You could talk to me. I'm gonna listen to you because nobody listened to me when I was that age.
Yeah.
They didn't give a fuck what I said.
Yeah.
You little kid, you go somewhere and do kid stuff. Well, I want to talk to y'all. I want to get the wisdom from y'all. I can't get it if I can't talk to y'all. There's nothing I could get that if I can't reach out to you guys and talk to you guys.
Yeah.
Well, I was just saying that. Yeah. Like that's what I think why I'm so good with kids and like. Mm-hmm. I think a lot of the kids in the family attached to me quickly because they saw that I was real and I'm willing to talk to you guys and I'm there for you just like you're my blood because in my eyes you are no difference. Mm-hmm. So the very last thing I want to talk about, well, before that I want to give it a precursor. Like I said, I battled too, and haven't battled since 2015 officially, because I had a battle on AHAT, and I believe I won the battle, and didn't get a look until a year later. The guy that I battled, and honestly, I'm not saying that it was a body bag on either side. It was a close battle, but he got looks and I didn't. But I realized afterwards it was because of how I looked and the image that I gave. Mm-hmm. I didn't come with a crew of people. Yeah, I basically came.
All that matters in that, especially in those spaces.
Right, I came with like 4 people, and only 2 of them was on the stage with me. And other people showed up late. He came with like 30 people. Wow. He pretty much like booked out the thing by himself. His crew was deep in there. Mm-hmm. So like every time he said something, it was just like even if the bar wasn't hidden, it was gassing him in there. Yeah. And so, but I was prepared. I think I won. I didn't get another look till a year later. But then when I did get that look, I kind of messed it up because I showed up to the thing unprepared. I was prepared for the battle, but I was not prepared for the environment that I was in. It was in the San Bernardino area, and the dude that I battled was from San Bernardino, and so I was prepared for that. And then plus, I was hanging out with my friends at the time, were a bunch of these Mexican guys, but the crew I told you about, my rap group, and they had me drinking and smoking before the battle, and so I get up in. It's all good. So, so the second battle I had a year later and everything, I was already low key mad at the league and everything because I'm like, I didn't get no looks, like for a whole year I'm hitting y'all up, and I'm not gonna beg y'all for nothing. So I get there not, and I get upset because the situation, everybody, and then at the same time the dude knew where we was at. He knew the owner of the place we were battling in, and then she's literally like, I know you've been in an environment where behind the camera is a bunch of shit going on. So she's right behind the camera, and you can hear her in the battle. And I start rapping. She's, same shit. This nigga, she drunk as fuck. Like, I'm just like, so it fucks me up, and I'm like, I can't even really get out what I want to get out. I think I missed like half of the bars I was gonna say and everything because of that. And then after that, I'm like, okay, I'm cool on battling on this league. And the last battle I took was 2015, and then I moved around a lot, so I couldn't really get plugged into nowhere. Where I was just living at Mississippi, was nothing right there until right before I moved. I found out about Gates of the Garden in Memphis. But what is it? What does it go into for like to you for preparing for a battle? How do you get ready?
I don't. I just show up. Like my brain really worked different than a lot of people, bro. I did a lot in my life with like heavy meditations. I took certain walks in certain places. I walked the whole Great Wall of China. I did like fasting in Tibet for like 14 days, almost 2 months, of 14-day periods. I did a lot to like power my mind. So like to the average person, like a whole day is 24 hours. Like for me, 24 hours is a blink of an eye. So I just did a lot of brain stuff coming up. So I don't really have to prep like other people prep. And I wouldn't say this is something that is special to me. It's just I exercise my mind a lot. Like on a daily, I'm exercising my mind. So like my memory is like a zillion. You know, my the things that I know, the linguistical levels that I know, like and then I don't have any boxes that I have to stay in regards of subject matter. So like my brain is just completely unlimited in what I can rap about. So I don't really have those problems as far as like preparation.
So the next battle coming up is going to be Lux.
Yeah, it's in December. Yeah.
It's official, right?
Yeah.
So people been waiting on this for a long time.
Yeah, like 10 years.
Right, right. So do you think that what should we expect?
I think the answer to that question is exactly what people like. People who are tuning into this, they don't get what they're tuning into it for, and probably more. It's not so more so I want this or I want that or I'm gonna do this. Like, no, you gonna get what you came to get, and most definitely I'm gonna go beyond what you expecting, but you gonna get what you came to get.
Well, we see already that we've known for a while that Lux is beatable. People think that he's not, but the fact that he was able, I think honestly, if he was even able to get through all his 3 rounds versus Geechee, he still would have lost.
Possibly.
I think he still would have lost because Geechee took a different approach than most people did. And Mook beat him, even though honestly I thought Lux was going to win that one.
Yeah.
So are you preparing in a like the rhymes that you have with them any different than anything else that like any things that he hasn't seen yet?
What I'm doing for that has nothing to do with him, or it has nothing to do with the battle. I got a body bag existence as a whole. Like I want to leave no I want to leave nothing for no one ever in the space of lyricism. So that's my goal. Like he just kind of like the ice cream cone, and I gotta put the ice cream on top of it. But he's just a byproduct of what I need to do.
Do you think it'll be a classic?
If he go where I need him to go, yeah. Other than that, he's gonna perish shortly.
R.E.A.L?
That's not even a question. Like, it's not even necessarily a 3-0 because like 3-0 is like, okay, damn, like he lost all 3 rounds. Like what I'm doing is something other. Way up.
I look forward to watching. You know,
most definitely.
Especially after seeing that you had a great one with Los and Rock in such a close time span. Like those were great. And actually, I didn't expect King Los to be as good as he was, but he was prepared way more than I thought he would be. So I'm a battle fan. At the same time, I know people are people, so you know I don't put stock into people like that. Like I don't care who I meet. I'm not going to be the person who's like, oh, it's just such and such. You know, you're just a person to me. So
yeah,
I think it's dope that you were able to be on these stages and then be able to still come back and be with the family and just be you.
Yeah, just happened.
It's all good.
Yeah.
So I do appreciate you coming on my podcast.
I ain't got nowhere else to go. I go lay down right there.
Hopefully we could lock in for
definitely
another one.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe I could pick your brain after the Lux battle.
100%.
I have another question. One more.
Yeah.
Do you have any plans of any other battles? I heard you was
as of right now, I'm chilling.
Chilling.
Yeah, I'm chilling.
Any music coming out?
Yeah, we got a lot of stuff. You know, we just dropped a music video, me and TD Punch. It's called Storm Coming. That's out right now. We got another joint by A Room Full of Mirrors called Better Days. Or Another Day. It's called Another Day. We got Feel Good out right now. We got Early Riser just dropped. Lyric Michelle Blackbird just dropped. What's her name? Ichiban Don Supernova just dropped. Like, so we most definitely got a lot of shit like drop right now.
That's dope. So do you think you'll be more focused on the music after?
Yeah, until then. And right now it's all music shit until Lux, and then after Lux is all music shit too.
For sure. Like I said, I appreciate it, bro. Thanks for coming on.
100%, bro.
Get to subscribe, like, all the good stuff, guys. Love you guys. Peace.
Right, yeah. You best get ready for the storm come. We outside, yeah.